The time is very precious. Everybody, please mute yourself. I don't want anybody voice or video. Thank you, friends. Thank you. So can you see my heading of the slide? Sam, just press
Yes,
Control Z.
yes.
Don't do annotations. Control Z, Sham. Okay, fine. Can you see Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University title there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
friends. So this is the first class of online class for the subject Internet Technologies using HTML5. So in this subject, we have 12
సార్
units.
సారీ సార్, నా దగ్గర ఇది వెబ్ డిజైనింగ్ అని ఉంది సార్. వెబ్ డిజైనింగ్ PHP అండ్ MySQL సార్.
You listen whatever I say.
ఓకే సార్.
Who is that? A student or somebody?
స్టూడెంట్ సార్ నేను.
Yeah, you listen whatever I say. Please don't interrupt.
ఓకే ఓకే రైట్.
If I ask any doubts or anything else, you can speak out, please.
ఓకే రైట్ సార్.
So this is the core subject, which is mandatory subject to each and everyone. And the elective subject class will be later. So these 6 days, we are going to cover till 4th. We are going to cover whatever the possibility is there for us. Then we will cover the topics from the core subject, Internet Technology using HTML5. So in this, we are having 6 units about networking concepts and the remaining 6 units about HTML5. So in this, I think most of you completed offline classes at your study centers. Yes or no?
No, sir.
No. Okay, fine, no problem. So we will see the one by one. Yeah, this is the semester 6. And myself, Bhattu, assistant professor and in charge head department of computer science. I said, please mute yourself, friends. Don't make disturbance to others. Or else I'll remove simply. So this is the introduction one. I'll go by topic wise and hurry. Every topic, whatever we are going to discuss is very important for the knowledge purpose and for your exam point of view also. Please concentrate. If I give the time, you can ask the questions. So this is the introduction. In this introduction, in this unit, we are going to cover the fundamental topics like what is data, what is information, what is computer network. The first unit name is computer networks. In this first unit, we are going to cover the very fundamental topics like data, information, and computer networks. And the objective means what is the aim of this unit? The objective of why you people are Pravalika. The main objective of this data communication and network is to exchange information between any devices. It could be 2 devices or 3 devices. The main motto, main objective, main aim of this data communication networks is to exchange of information. And we are going to know about the components of communication system. Means what are the components will be there in the communication system, like the connection of computers and media. Media may be a cable or wireless, and the networking devices. So in order to have the communication, we should have some components. The components are like a connection of computers and the medium like a cable or wireless and any other networking devices. These are the fundamental topics we are going to cover in this And the basic, are you able to see the heading there?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Basic concept of
Basic
computer.
concepts of the
Basic concepts of computer networks. Okay, fine. What are the very basic concepts? The very basic concept, the fundamental concepts we have seen in the above slide is data, information, and computer networks. What do you mean by data? So it is there in simpler words. I have taken the content from the textbook, and you can refer, you are going to refer the textbook only for the theory exam. The data refers to the raw facts, while information refers to the processed data that enables us to take decisions. So data is nothing but raw facts, and information is the processed data. Uh, it is nothing but any fact, and if you process the facts, then you get the information. What is data communication? Data communication is nothing but exchange of information or data or information between some devices. So that should be through a secured manner and through a medium. Simply, if someone asks you, what do you mean by a data communication? It's nothing but exchange of information or data between some devices, or the devices may be 2, 3, 4, like. Simply just remember, data means raw facts, information means processed data, and data communication means exchange of information or data. Then, to be transmitted, data must be transferred to electromagnetic signals, such as there are two types of signals. Whatever the communication system you take in the present world, in real world, the data should be communicated, data should be transmitted. It is nothing but exchanged through two types of signals. They are called analog signals and digital signals. Only without these signals, means that can be either analog or digital signal. Without these transformation system, or without these signals, it is not possible to exchange the information.
hello, sir.
Please.
So tell me some tell us again.
Sorry.
What are the types of
Hello.
what are the types of systems examples
Which systems?
examples?
Which systems?
The data transfer to two components. Two components. Tell us, sir. Tell us, sir. Examples, sir.
You just listen the class first, then I'll give the time to ask the questions. You
Okay,
can,
sir. Okay.
if you're
Okay, sir.
not satisfied with my answers, and you can call me after the class. I'll explain each and every doubt.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So the types of communication systems, there are two types of communication systems. One is analog and other is digital. Can you predict, or can you say what do you mean by, means which will come under analog communication system? First, you should know what do you mean by analog and what do you mean by digital. We will see, and then we will go for the examples of real time. What before that, analog communication system uses analog data, and digital communication uses digital data. What do you mean by analog data? Analog data refers to information that is continuous. And example, sounds made by human voice, whatever we speak, that is continuous. That is analog data. And digital data refers to the information that has discrete states, like either 0 or 1s. Example, whatever the information you store in the computer memory, you store in the your electronic device like mobile, that will come under digital data. Analog data means music, voice, and which is continuous form. So these analog signals and digital signals are used to transmit the information, usually through some electronic signals. So in this slide, what we have discussed, what is data? Data is nothing but raw facts. What is information? Information is nothing but processed data. And what is Data communication. Data communication is the process of exchanging information. And to transmit means sending or exchanging or receiving. To transmit the data, we must use electromagnetic signals. Those electromagnetic signals are analog signals and digital signals. We have two types of communication system. One is analog communication system and other is digital communication system. Example, telephonic calling. Telephone calling is there no landline? That will come under analog communication system. And this one, whatever you use cellular phone, that will come under digital communication system. Our mobile chat, Facebook, WhatsApp, everything will come under digital communication. So these are the signals. The picture shows the analog signal will be continuous form and digital signal will be in discrete form. Next. What are the characteristics of data communication? It is very important, friends. What are the various characteristics of data communication? This is very, very important for the exam point of view. So the effectiveness of any data communication system depends upon the four fundamental characteristics. The data communication have the four fundamental characteristics. They are, first one, delivery. The data should be delivered to the correct destination, to the correct user. That is the very basic fundamental characteristics of data communication. That means the data should be delivered to the correct person only. If I text you through WhatsApp, that should be reached. If I want to text message to my friend called A, my friend name is A. If I want to chat with him, if I send a message to him, that should be reached to him only. Or else if that message goes to some other person other than A, it leads to complications. So the very basic, see, you can see if the data delivery is not in the proper way, in correct way, what we call MIR, MIR. Why are you annotating? Okay, let it be. We will discuss it later. The characteristics are four. The very first one is delivery. That means the data should be delivered to the correct destination. To whomever you want to send, that should be reached to that particular destination only, or the correct user only. And the next one is accuracy. The communication system or data communication should deliver the data accurately without producing any errors or without corrupting the data. So data should be delivered accurately without losing of data. And timeliness. Audio and video data has to be delivered in a timeline manner without any delay. Example, if you open a YouTube and you want to see some video, if that is getting delayed, that means that this is not following the proper time. Means that there could be some reason for it. Maybe data problem or some other reasons. So the data should be delivered in time, in accurate time, without getting any delay. Next one is jitter. This is the fourth characteristics of data communication. This means that the variation of packet arrival. What do you mean by a packet? The communication system, whatever you send through the digital communication or analog communication, if you send a message to your friend, the data will be, you will communicate through some language. Maybe Telugu, maybe Urdu, maybe Hindi, maybe in English. If I say, hello, how are you? That data will be converted into, each character will be converted based on the ASCII values of each character of the keyboard. From A to B, A to Z, capital A to capital Z, lowercase a to lowercase z, and 0 to 9. And every key on the keyboard will have its own ASCII value. If I type hi, H will have one ASCII value and I will have one ASCII value. Those values are numbers. Those numbers will be converted into, the H and I will be converted into numbers. That numbers will be converted into ones and zeros. That ones and zeros will be converted into some parts like packets, converted into signals actually. Those signals carries the packets. Means the information will not be sent directly. The hi will be split into packets. Those packets will be sent to the destination. If I say, hello, how are you? That message will reach to my friend through various networking devices and towers and routers, and so many networking devices are there. It will not go directly to the destination. The entire message will not go. Data will be transmitted through the packets. Some information, some information, some information. Data will be split into various packets. Those packets will travel to the towers, nearby towers. From there, that will travel to the destination. All the packets will reach to the destination device, and that will be arranged in proper manner, and that will be displayed on the screen of the receiver. మనం ఏదైనా మెసేజ్ పంపిస్తే ఆ మెసేజ్ అనేది ప్యాకెట్స్ గా విడిపోయి మనకు తెలియకుండా నెట్వర్కింగ్ సిస్టమ్ లో అవి టవర్ ద్వారా సెల్యులర్ టవర్ దగ్గర రీచ్ అయ్యి అక్కడ నుంచి ఆ డెస్టినేషన్ పర్సన్ ఎక్కడ ఉందో అక్కడికి రీచ్ అవుతుంది. సో జిట్టర్ ఈజ్ ద వేరియేషన్ ఆఫ్ ప్యాకెట్ అరైవల్. సమ్ ప్యాకెట్ మే గో ఇన్ some direction and some packet will go in different direction. That packet will choose their own path, and ultimately all the packets will receive to the destination device, and the message will be that packets will be converted into that numbers. The numbers will be converted into message. That message will be displayed on the screen of the receiver. So what do you mean by a jitter? It's nothing but variation of packet arrival. Packet may arrive in sometime. One packet will arrive at 7 p.m. Another packet will arrive at 7.1 p.m. like that. So can you remind it? What are the various characteristics of data communication? Data communication characteristics are, very first one is delivery. That means the data should be delivered to the correct destination. And accuracy, data should be delivered accurately without getting any errors or without getting any corrupting the data during the transmission. And timeliness, data should be reached in the correct time manner. And jitter, it is nothing but variation in the packet arrival to the destination. And the next one, components of data communication. What are the various components of data communication? It is very, very, very important. Components of data communication. Can someone say it is general thing? Friends, it is a chit chat, like you just feel it is a chit chat. Please, someone who wants to respond, you can turn on your audio. Sorry, you unmute yourself, and please, can you say what are the components of the data communication? If you want to communicate with your friend, communication can be in any way. What are the things, what are the components should be there to have a communication between two devices or two people? I'm explaining.
Sender and receiver.
Sorry, friend. Sorry, please.
Sender and receiver.
Yeah, sender and receiver should be there. Any other? Only sender and receiver.
Media also must be there.
Yeah, media. That could be maybe phone. If
Net,
I
internet.
Internet. Not, why always internet? It is mandatory. If I want to,
server is
And
most
we have
important,
transmitted.
sir.
no,
Server is most important.
Server.
friends. No, don't think about only the digital or only computer communication. You take the communication of telephonic devices. I have landline at my home, and my friend is
Transmitter,
having,
receiver.
yeah, exactly. My friend is having landline at his home. I want to communicate through that. So what are the two necessary components? Sender should be there.
Transmitter and
Yeah,
receiver.
receiver
We
should be
want to
there.
have.
Some medium. It's okay. Thank you for your response. Please, you mute yourself. Then we will see. So what are the data communication system has 5 components. Remember that. Very first one is data or message. If you want to communicate with your friend, there should be some message, no? You will speak or you will send some information or you will exchange some data. That data is the very basic component of data communication system. We have 5 components of data communication system. In that, the very first one is data or message. The primary component of data communication system. Message is the information to be communicated by the sender and receiver. If I want to convey some information to my friend, what I want to convey, that is called a message. So for that purpose only, I have communicated to my friend. So data or message is the one component of data communication, and the sender or source. Sender, example, the sender is a device which sends to the data to the destination device. If I want to communicate to my friend, and my device or myself will be called as a sender. And next one is a receiver or destination. Sender will be called as a source from where the information is starting. And receiver is the person or the device which receives the data. That is called also called destination. And the next one is medium. To communicate two devices, there should be some medium, some link. Without link, we can't communicate. That link can be anything. If you take the wireless communication system, if you want to communicate, there should be, if you want to chat with your friend, the internet is the medium. Without internet, you can't do it. If you want to send a normal text message to your friend, there should be some signal, some link. You should have some connection with your SIM card. Then only the message will be delivered through that particular network. So that is called medium. And the last one is protocol. So you can see the picture in the, if you get this question in the exam, you have to draw this picture. It is very important. The picture will give you the clear message there. So what are the various components of data communication system? Are you able to see the picture?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So
Yes, sir.
it is there, it is clearly specified. What are the things? The first one is message and the sender and the receiver and transmission medium 4 and the set of rules. What are the rules to be followed in order to have a communication? So that is nothing but a set of rules is called a protocol. So you can see the what do you mean by a protocol? The protocol is nothing but a set of rules that govern the communication system in the correct manner. A protocol is necessity in data communication system, without which the communicating entities are like two persons trying to talk with each other in a different language without no other language. So there should be some rule to communicate. That rule is called a protocol. I think you can remember these simpler components. We have 5 data communication components. The one is data or message that is mandatory to exchange the information between the sender and receiver. And the next one is the sender. There should be a device to start communication and to send the information to the receiver. And receiver is a device that receives the information from the sender. And medium. Medium is nothing but a carrier path or a link between the source and destination. Without that link, the source and destination cannot communicate. And the protocol, there should be some rules to govern the communication system. Means the communication system correct manner lo undalante, there should be some rules. Those rules will be called as protocols. So based on that rules, that communication will be completed successfully. Please remember these components. It is very, 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 very important. Next, data representation. This is also important. Data represent. These are all about short answers important. Data representations. In how many forms we can represent data? What are the various forms of data can be represented? Can you tell? Whatever you know, whether it is right or wrong.
Images. Text type.
Text,
Yeah.
audio, video, sir.
Video.
Thank you. Nice. Text, audio, video, images. Okay, friends. Any other?
Number,
File type.
emojis, numbers.
Okay, we will see it, friends. Thank you for your introduction. Please mute yourself. So there may be different forms of data representation and in the data communication. These are all, you know it very well. A data can be represented using the text format. Text format is nothing but combination of alphabets and lowercase and uppercase. And next is the numbers. Data can also be represented using numbers. That numbers includes digits 0 to 9. You can write any number. Next, images. Data can be represented using images. If you want to communicate, if you want to represent it at the huge data, which is having a text format, You can draw it in a picture so that the picture will give the more information. And the audio, and other is the video. Audio refers to the recording or broadcasting sounds or music. And the next one is the video. So just remember these data representation. Data can be represented using text, numbers, images, and audio and video. Next, modes of data communication. It is important, friends. You'll get whatever I say important. You may get further in the exam. It is very important. I feel data communication modes. So two devices communicate with each other by sending and receiving the information. The data can be transmitted between the devices in several different ways. They are serial and parallel transmission. Serial and parallel transmission. And what do you mean by a serial transmission? And what do you mean by a parallel transmission? A serial, a transmission medium may be capable of sending a signal, a single bit at a time or multiple bits at a time. Means a medium, there should be a medium between the sender and receiver. No, that medium may be capable of sending one bit, single bit at a time or multiple bits at a time. What do you mean by serial transmission? Serial transmission is nothing but a single bit transmission. When a single bit is transmitted at a time, the transmission is said to be serial transmission. When a single bit is transmitted at a time, then the transmission is called serial transmission. Whenever the multiple bits are sent at a time, then the transmission is called parallel transmission. Just remember, these are very simpler terminology. If it is single bit transmission, single bit transmitted, then at a time, that is called serial. If multiple bits have transmitted, that is called parallel transmission. And other types of transmission is called synchronous and asynchronous transmission. You may get this question for long answer. What are the various modes of data communication? Serial transmission, parallel transmission, synchronous transmission, asynchronous transmission, and some more are there. We'll get it in the next class. Sorry, in the next slide. What do you mean by synchronous transmission? Synchronous transmission is nothing but the sender and receiver will have some coordination. The sender and receiver knows that they are having some information exchange. Means the sender and receiver knows the communication. We'll see what do you mean by synchronous transmission. Synchronous transmission means both sender and receiver have an agreement, are aware about timing of sending data, so that both sender and receiver can coordinate their data communication. Synchronous means sender and receiver will aware of the data transmission. Can you see the picture? Friends, here you can see the sender and receiver.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just remember, what do you mean by synchronous transmission? In synchronous transmission, sender and receiver knows about the data communication. వాళ్ళ మధ్య ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ అవుతుందని ఇద్దరికి తెలుసు. They can coordinate. And what do you mean by asynchronous? It's quietly opposite to it. They are not aware of the transmission, the communication. You can see that asynchronous transmission. Asynchronous means not synchronous. Synchronous means the sender and receiver will aware of it, aware of the communication. Asynchronous means the sender and receiver will not have any coordination, will not have any agreement. They are purely unaware of the transmission of data. Information ఎవరికి వస్తుంది ఎవరికి పోతుంది అనేది వాళ్ళకి తెలియదు యాక్చువల్గా. There is no agreement, there is no awareness in the asynchronous. Yeah, the data is sent in group of 8 bits. 8 bits is nothing but bytes. And the sender can start transmission at any instance of time without informing to the receiver. Receiver కు చెప్పకుండా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ పంపిస్తారు asynchronous లో. Synchronous లో sender will inform to the receiver so that I am going to communicate with you. And one more important, the start and stop bit are inserted before and after every group of data. This is the picture. So you just simply don't take it a complicated. What do you mean by synchronous? Synchronous means sender and receiver will aware of the communication. Sender will inform to the receiver that we are going to communicate. And in asynchronous, sender and receiver will not have any agreement, will not have any awareness of their communication. Simply sender transmits the information. Next, this is also important. This is also part of modes of data communication. Simplex transmission mode, half duplex transmission mode, and full duplex transmission mode. If you get this question, what do you mean by what are the various modes of data communication? For a long answer, you have to write about, what will you write? Serial transmission, parallel transmission, synchronous transmission, asynchronous transmission, half duplex, sorry, simplex, half duplex, and full duplex transmission modes. These 7 transmission modes you have to write with possible of some diagrams like the above. What do you mean by a simplex transmission mode?
Hello, sir.
Please.
సార్ ఒకసారి సింక్రోనైజ్ డయాగ్రామ్స్ చూపిస్తారా సార్ ఒకసారి?
Synchronous, no?
Yes, sir.
It is there in your textbook. You can refer.
Okay, sir.
It is there in textbook. Everything I have taken from the textbook only. Simplex transmission mode. It is very easy one. The data will flow in between the two devices. You can see the data flow defines the direction of the flow, the data between source and destination. This simplex, half duplex, and full duplex will disclose about the way of the data transmission, the direction of the data flow. Data అనేది ఎలా వెళ్తుంది అనేది చెప్తుంది ఈ సింప్లెక్స్, హాఫ్ డూప్లెక్స్ అండ్ ఫుల్ డూప్లెక్స్. డేటా ఫ్లో అనేది 2 డివైజెస్ మధ్యలో ఎలా జరుగుతుంది అని చూపిస్తారు. There are data flow can be done in 3 ways in the communication system. Data flow can be done in 3 ways in data communication system. One is simplex, half duplex, full duplex. What do you mean by simplex? It's very easy one, simpler one. In simplex, the direction of the data flow is unidirectional. Means data will be, only sender will send the message. Receiver will not. Receiver only will receive. That is called simplex. Sender will send the message. Always only sender will send the message. Receiver only will receive. Can you give some real-time example for this? Only one side, from one side only data will be transmitted. Others only will receive. They will not send.
One-way communication.
Huh?
It means one-way communication, sir.
Yeah, one-way communication only. There are many more real-time example, friends. You just think about it.
Bank messages.
Sorry?
Bank SMSs.
Yeah, bank SMS. Nice. Thank you. Super, madam.
PIN code, PIN, OTP.
Yeah, OTP also. Nice. This is also one example. CPU sends data to the monitor, and monitor will not send data to the CPU. If I am doing this thing, no, we are watching. This is coming from my CPU, from my lapping. I am getting information. And one more example, telecommunications. This television channels also will have one example. And this is half duplex. What do you mean by half duplex? In half duplex, sender and receiver, in both direction data will be transmitted, but not at the same time. In simplex mode, only always sender will sends the message, receiver only will receive. Means data will be in only unidirectional. ఒక డైరెక్షన్ లోనే డేటా పోతుంది. ఒకళ్ళే పంపిస్తారు, వేరే వాళ్ళు రిసీవ్ చేసుకుంటారు. In half duplex, both persons have the capability to send the information. Means data can be transmitted in bidirectional, both directions, but not at the same time. This is important. ఒక పర్సన్ మెసేజ్ పంపిస్తున్నప్పుడు వేరే పర్సన్ రిసీవ్ చేసుకుంటారు, అండ్ వేరే పర్సన్ పంపించేటప్పుడు యువతల పర్సన్ రిసీవ్ చేసుకుంటారు. దట్ ఈస్ హాఫ్ డూప్లెక్స్. కెన్ యూ గివ్ సమ్ రియల్ టైమ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్?
Mobile phones, sir.
The communication which we are doing now, no? See, if
Yes,
I
sir.
talk, I'm speaking, no? If someone speaks opposite to me, will it be good communication?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
నేను ఒక పర్సన్కి ఫోన్ చేశానండి, నేను మాట్లాడుతున్నాను, అదే సమయంలో ఆ పర్సన్ కూడా మాట్లాడితే ఎలా ఉంటుంది కమ్యూనికేషన్? Will it be
Disturbance.
good? Yes. There, there will be no proper delivery of the information or no proper exchange of information. In that case, అంటే ఇద్దరికి మాట్లాడే ఫెసిలిటీ ఉంది. నేను ఒక పర్సన్ కాల్ చేశాను, తను మాట్లాడొచ్చు, నేను మాట్లాడొచ్చు, బట్ నాట్ ఎట్ ద సేమ్ టైం. అవర్ టెలిఫోనిక్ కమ్యూనికేషన్, మొబైల్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ సిస్టమ్ అండ్ టెలిఫోనిక్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ వన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. Do you agree with that? Yeah, walkie-talkie is an example. Why not mobile? Mobile communication. ఓన్లీ వన్ పర్సన్, ఇద్దరికి మాట్లాడే ఫెసిలిటీ ఉంటుంది, ఇద్దరికి డేటా ఎక్స్చేంజ్ చేసే ఫెసిలిటీ ఉంటుంది, బట్ ఓన్లీ వన్ పర్సన్ ఎట్ ఏ టైం. ఒకళ్ళు మాట్లాడితే వేరే వాళ్ళు రిసీవ్ చేసుకోవాలి, వేరే వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడితే ఇతర వాళ్ళు రిసీవ్ చేసుకోవాలి. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ హాఫ్ డూప్లెక్స్. మన బుక్ లో ఇచ్చిన ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వాకీ టాకీ. మనం రియల్ టైమ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చాలా రాయొచ్చు. See this one. Simplex data transmission, data communication. Sender ఇక్కడ ఉన్నారు, రిసీవర్ ఇక్కడ ఉన్నారు. Only sender will send the message and receiver only will receive, one direction. And this is, can you see that half duplex picture? Friends, is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Device one, that is sender. This is whenever this sends, device one sends, that is called device one message పంపించినప్పుడు అది సెండర్ అవుతుంది, డివైస్ టూ రిసీవర్ అవుతుంది. డివైస్ టూ మెసేజ్ పంపించినప్పుడు డివైస్ టూ అనేది సెండర్ అవుతుంది, డివైస్ వన్ అనేది రిసీవర్ అవుతుంది. సో నాట్ ఎట్ ద సేమ్ టైం. ఒక పర్సన్ ఒక టైంలో పంపిస్తారు, ఇంకొక పర్సన్ ఇంకొక టైంలో పంపిస్తారు. దిస్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ హాఫ్ డూప్లెక్స్ ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ మోడ్. దిస్ is also the direction of the data flow. Friends, have you understood this one?
Yes, sir.
Simplex, half duplex.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Aayundi, sir.
So I think I have no slides. Then we have to discuss one more what you call transmission mode, data flow. That is called full duplex. Can you say full duplex? What could be the full duplex?
The transmitter receiver send message at the same time.
Sorry?
The transmitter and receiver can send the message at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Data can be transmitted between the sender and receiver at the same time. In half duplex, data can be in bidirectional. Sender and receiver can send the message, but not at the same time. That is called half duplex. What do you mean by full duplex? Full duplex is also bidirectional data transmission in both direction. Data can be transmitted in both direction at the same time. Half duplex లో not at the same time. ఒకేసారి పంపించారు, దీంట్లో ఒకేసారి పంపిస్తారు. One more important thing is that one more leftover topic in this unit. We can say about computer networks. What are the uses of networks? What do you mean by a network? A network is collection of, sorry?
Hello, sir. Example के full duplex के example से हम कैसा?
Full duplex. Can you say some? Can you predict?
Mobile
Sorry?
phones.
Mobile phones.
Correction of notes, sir.
No, I'm not asking definition of network, madam. He is asking full duplex. Example, no?
Playing games.
Telephones, mobile phones.
How it can be? Can you justify your answer, madam? How can you justify?
It can be transmitted in both directions at the same time.
Like what?
Like mobile phone only, sir.
No, if I talk with my friend, and if he also talks, then it will be some disturbance, no? Some noise and some other thing.
Messages, sir.
Exactly. Super. Mobile phones will be considered as full duplex transmission mode for the messages only. Text purpose. If you chat with your friend, at a time వాళ్ళు పంపిస్తారు మనం కూడా పంపించవచ్చు. That is possible. But in terms of communication, voice communication through mobile devices, it will not come under full duplex data transmission. Because at a time లో ఇద్దరు మాట్లాడితే అది డిస్టర్బెన్స్ అవుతుంది కదా.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can consider this mobile phones as an example for a full duplex mode or for text purpose, images, videos, audios. Without
Like our
having-
WhatsApp message.
డైరెక్ట్ గా కూర్చొని కూడా మాట్లాడితే అది ఫుల్ డూప్లెక్స్ అవుతుంది కదా సార్?
ఏంటండి?
డైరెక్ట్ కూర్చొని మాట్లాడితే కూడా అది ఫుల్ డూప్లెక్స్ అవుతుంది కదా?
డైరెక్ట్ కూర్చొని మాట్లాడితే ఫుల్ డూప్లెక్స్ అవుతుంది, కానీ అయినా మనం ఇక్కడ మాట్లాడేది డివైజెస్ గురించి, నెట్వర్క్ ఉన్న డివైజెస్ గురించి. మోయిన్ కాన్ ఇంటర్నెట్ ఓన్లీ కమ్యూనికేషన్ డివైజెస్ గురించి మేడం, నాట్ అబౌట్ రియల్ లైఫ్ నార్మల్ కమ్యూనికేషన్, హ్యూమన్ కమ్యూనికేషన్.
Communication from the various places.
Yeah, various devices. And what do you mean by a computer network? It is collection of, we can say it. What do you mean by network? What do you mean by internet? Internet is networks of networks. Means we have a network in our country, and we have a network in other other means America has network in their country, and China has network in their country, and Pakistan has network in their country. If the collection of all these networks to exchange the information will be called as a internet. Internet is simply, we can say, networks of network. What do you mean by a network? A network is simply, it can be defined as collection of computers with some link. మన దగ్గర 4 కంప్యూటర్లు ఉన్నాయి ఒక రూమ్ లో. 4 కంప్యూటర్లకి లింక్ ఉంది అనుకోండి, ఒక కంప్యూటర్ నుంచి ఒక కంప్యూటర్ మన ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ చేసుకోవడానికి, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఎ నెట్వర్క్. ఇఫ్ అలా లేకపోతే మన ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఒక డివైస్ నుంచి ఇంకో డివైస్ తీసుకోవాలంటే పెన్ డ్రైవ్ లేకపోతే వేరే దాని నుంచి తీసుకురావాలి. అలా కాకుండా మనం వీటన్నిటిని కంప్యూటర్స్ ని ఒకదానికొకటి ఇంటర్లింక్ చేస్తాం, అప్పుడు మనకి నెట్వర్క్ ద్వారా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అనేది వస్తుంది. Simply, the computer network is defined as a collection of nodes. A node can be any device that can be capable of sending and receiving, or it can do it both. Computer, printer, scanner, mobile. ఇవన్నీ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ రిసీవ్ చేసుకునే కెపాసిటీ ఉండాలి, ఆర్ సెండ్ చేసే కెపాసిటీ ఉండాలి, లేదా రెండు ఉండాలి. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఎ నోడ్. A collection of nodes will be called as network. Example, connection of computer and printer. Computer లో ఇస్తే ఆటోమేటిక్గా అక్కడ రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవుతుంది ప్రింటర్ లో. This computer is sending devices and printer is the receiving devices there. Next, what are the various uses of computer networks? That you can write in very easier and your own way. You can access World Wide Web. If you have the network, you can access any website. What do you mean by internet is networks of network? What do you mean by computer? What are the uses of computer network? You can access anything which is connected to it. మన డివైస్కి ఏదైనా కనెక్ట్ అయిన ప్రతి దానిలో నుంచి మనం యాక్సెస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. And it is possible to have the communication between a person to person. And it is possible for the interactive entertainment. And it makes possible for the business. Flipkart, Amazon, all these. These are the some, there are some, what you call, some important network criteria is there. Means the performance and the throughput and reliability, security are these. Some topics are there in the textbook. You can go through, you'll get some idea about the network. And there are some types of networks is also there, like point-to-point network, like multi-point network. These are two. You can, there are two types of, in our textbook, we have two types of networking. These two types of networkings are, one is called point-to-point network, and other is called multi-point network. What do you mean by a point-to-point network? Means it is a connection. Network is nothing but a connection of computers or a connection of devices or a collection of nodes, you can say. Simply, whatever you understood, you can say. Connection of computers, connection of devices, or collection of nodes, where node is a computer or any electronic device that has the capability to send and receive the message, or both. So what do you mean by a point-to-point network? In a point-to-point network provides a dedication link between two devices. Point-to-point network లో సెండర్ అండ్ రిసీవర్ మధ్యలో ఖచ్చితంగా ఒక డెడికేషన్ లింక్ ఉంటుంది. The entire capacity of the link is reserved for the transmission between sender and receiver. Example, the link between the CPU and monitor. CPU కి monitor కి మధ్యలో లింక్ లేకపోతే ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అనేది ఎక్స్చేంజ్ అవ్వదు, ట్రాన్స్మిట్ చేయబడదు. Next, what do you mean multi-point networking? A multi-point networking is nothing but more than
One
two
device.
devices through a single link. ఒకటే లింక్ ద్వారా మోర్ దాన్ టూ డివైజెస్ కమ్యూనికేట్ అవుతుందని మల్టీ పాయింట్ కనెక్షన్ ఆర్ మల్టీ పాయింట్ నెట్వర్కింగ్ అంటారు. దీస్ ఆర్ ద టూ వెరీ బేసిక్ థింగ్స్. అండ్ కమింగ్ టు ద క్వశ్చన్స్, what are there in the textbook? First question is explain, long answers in the textbook. Explain various components of data communication system. I think it is not suitable for the long answer. What are the various components of communication system, friends?
Repeat the question once again.
It is there in textbook, you can see.
సార్ ఒకసారి మల్టీపాయింట్ నెట్వర్క్ గురించి చెప్తారా సార్ ఒకసారి?
మల్టీపాయింట్ నెట్వర్కింగ్ అంటే ఏం లేదండి. ఇప్పుడు మనము పాయింట్ టు పాయింట్ నెట్వర్క్ అంటేమో టూ డివైజెస్ మధ్యలో ఒక డెడికేషన్ లింక్ ఉంటుంది. టూ డివైజెస్ కమ్యూనికేట్ చేయాలంటే వాటి రెండింటి మధ్యలో లింక్ ఉంటుంది. మల్టీపాయింట్ నెట్వర్కింగ్ అంటేనేమో టూ డివైజెస్ కాకుండా మోర్ దాన్ టూ డివైజెస్ ఉంటాయి, ఒకటే లింక్ ఉంటుంది. ఒకటే లింక్ ద్వారా మోర్ దాన్ టూ డివైజెస్ కమ్యూనికేట్ అవుతుంటాయి. అది మల్టీపాయింట్ నెట్వర్కింగ్. మీకు ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చిన క్వశ్చన్స్ లో వాట్ ఆర్ ద వేరియస్ కాంపోనెంట్స్ ఆఫ్ డేటా కమ్యూనికేషన్ సిస్టమ్? కెన్ సమ్వన్ టెల్ వాట్ ఆర్ ద వేరియస్ కాంపోనెంట్స్? మీకు గుర్తున్న చెప్పండి. డేటా కమ్యూనికేషన్ ఉండాల్సిన కాంపోనెంట్స్ ఏంటి? మెసేజ్ ఆర్ డేటా, సెండర్, రిసీవర్, లింక్ ఆర్ మీడియం, అండ్ ప్రోటోకాల్. రూల్, ఈ 5 ఉంటాయి. నెక్స్ట్ ఇక్కడ ఏముంది? డిస్కస్ అబౌట్ డేటా ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ మోడ్స్. ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫర్ లాంగ్ ఆన్సర్. Explain about various data transmission modes. Can you name it? I'm not asking you in depth. What are the various data transmission modes we have discussed?
Serial and parallel.
Transmission mode,
Synchronic and synchronic.
synchronous and asynchronous,
Synchronous and asynchronous.
Simplex,
Half duplex.
Simple, half
simplex,
duplex, and
half
full
duplex,
duplex.
and full duplex.
Full
Can
duplex.
someone tell what do you mean by the serial transmission? సెండర్ అండ్ రిసీవర్ కి మధ్యలో కేవలం ఒక బిట్ ఆఫ్ డేటా మాత్రమే, సింగిల్ బిట్ డేటా మాత్రమే ట్రాన్స్మిట్ అయితే దాన్ని సీరియల్ డేటా ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ అంటాం. సెండర్ అండ్ రిసీవర్ కి మధ్యలో మోర్ దాన్ వన్ బిట్ ట్రాన్స్మిట్ అయితే దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ప్యారలల్ డేటా ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ అంటాం. క్లియర్ ఫ్రెండ్స్?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next one, synchronous data transmission. What do you mean by that? Can someone? It is not the question or something else, friends. It is interaction. You just like a checkup, means check your progress, means what you understood and how much you remembered.
Yeah, both sender and receiver having
Receiver
proper
and sender have
communication.
an aware of
Madam, please, that
Right,
sir is
right,
telling no. One person, please wait. Sir, please come on.
Yes, sir. Sender and receiver having proper communication. Like once the sender and
Exactly. They will have some agreement. And
agreement.
this synchronous transmission mode, sender and receiver will have the idea that they are going to communicate. They are going to exchange some information. They can coordinate. ఇద్దరికి తెలుస్తుంది. దాన్ని ఎప్పుడైనా టర్న్ అప్ వైండ్ అప్ చేయొచ్చు. ఎవరైనా వైండ్ అప్ చేయొచ్చు. ఎవరైనా ఏదైనా ఇనిషియేషన్ తీసుకోవచ్చు ఆ కమ్యూనికేషన్ లో. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ సింక్రనస్. నెక్స్ట్ asynchronous. Any other person, please.
They not have any aware about information, sir.
Yeah.
So
There is no aware of, only sender will send the message and receiver will, without the concern of receiver, information will be transmitted. Transmission అంటే send చేయడం ఏమీ లేదు.
No proper communication.
Yeah. No proper communication and no coordination between the sender and receiver and no agreement between the sender and receiver. కాకపోతే దాంట్లో ఏం జరుగుతుంది అసింక్రనస్ లో స్టార్ట్ బిట్ స్టాప్ బిట్ అంటే స్టార్టింగ్ లో ఏ బిట్ ఉంటుంది ఎండింగ్ లో ఏ బిట్ ఉంటుంది అనేది పంపిస్తారు. దట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ డెప్త్ యాక్చువల్లీ. నెక్స్ట్ అదర్ మోడ్ of transmission, simplex. This simplex is various types of data flow directions. We have various types of data flow directions. The data flow direction is one is the simplex. What do you mean by simplex data transmission mode?
It is unidirection, sir. Only one direction.
Data will be transmitted only in unidirection between the sender and receiver. Always sender will send, only receiver will only receive here. You can draw some picture in the exam if you get it. Next one, half duplex.
the sender can
Both
the-
direction it can
only-
communicate, but not at a time, sir.
Yes, exactly, sir. Data
once
can
in
be
a-
transmitted in both directional in half duplex mode, but not at the same time. Whenever the sender transmits the information, receiver only will receive. Whenever receiver starts sending message and this person will receive. That communication or exchange of information should not be happen at a time. It can be happen in both directional, but not at the same time. Other than these two people, I'm expecting some answer from others. What do you mean by full duplex?
the sender and receiver.
Not you, please. Others I'm
సార్
asking for
ఫుల్
that.
డూప్లెక్స్ అంటే సార్ ఇది మనం మెసేజెస్ చేసాం కదా సార్, అది ఎగ్జాంపుల్
No,
దానికి వస్తుంది సార్.
I'm asking official definition, friends. No, it's okay. Whatever you say, that's nice. I'm asking, what do you mean by full duplex data transmission?
Data can transmitted in both direction at the same time.
Example?
Example, mobile phones for text messages.
Okay, fine. Thank you. What are the uses of computer net? What do you mean by a network? A network can be connection of computers or connection of electronic devices.
Number of electrons.
Or simply you can say connection of devices.
No,
Connection of devices. Devices మధ్యలో connection to the network అంటాం.
Yes.
What are the uses of networks?
It is connected to the number of computers.
Oh, no, sir. I'm asking what are the uses of networks?
Connecting multiple devices, sir.
అదే అట్లా కనెక్ట్ చేయడం వల్ల యూజ్ ఏంటి?
We can communicate.
Sharing the data.
Exactly.
communicate
Sharing
data.
the data is one point. Yeah. Multiple things.
Sir, we can control all the PCs from one network, and then we can do
We have
whatever we can మనం దానికి స్టాక్ కూడా చేయవచ్చు మనం కావాలంటే. అలాంటిది చాలా పని చేయవచ్చు సార్ దాంట్లో నెట్వర్కింగ్.
And we communicate easily, sir.
Yes. You can access anything in the internet.
Yes.
Okay. The last one. What are the two types of networking we have? One is point to point
Other one is
And
multi-point.
connection
multiple
and
point.
multi-point
Multiple.
networking. What do you mean by point to point?
Point to point means that communication between only two devices.
Exactly, sir.
Multi-point.
No. A dedication link will be there
Yeah,
between two devices.
dedication link.
That these two devices should have the capability of either receiving the information or sending the information or both.
Yeah.
One example is a link between the CPU and monitor, and link between the printer and the computer, and link between the computer and the Xerox machine. Examples. And the link or path between the two mobile devices to share the data. Only between two. Next, multi-point networking or multi-point connection.
We have more devices
Only one
within
server,
one
sir?
link.
Multiple devices, single link.
Single link.
Multi-point means a point is nothing but device. Point to point means only two devices. And multi-point means multiple devices, a single link. దాంట్లో దీంట్లో
Sir,
ఒకటే
example
లింక్
Zoom meeting, sir?
You can say.
Okay, sir.
We have some other questions, friends, here. Differentiate data and information. What do you mean by data?
Collection of
No, raw facts, simply you can say a simpler word. Raw facts. Examples. Facts and
yes, sir.
Raw information.
Next, what do you mean by information?